I'm back with another 2SWIFT video. I've been wanting to make a tutorial to help a beginner get started. I am assuming that anybody who is looking at these things probably has ridden some kind of board, and you're probably used to the feeling of standing on something and moving. If you have that background, this is going to be much easier. If this is for someone who has never ridden any kind of board in their life, I do think the 2SWIFT could be a little challenging, but you know, it's all about your commitment. I'm sure anyone could learn, but I do think that little bit of background is going to help. So let's get started. I'm so excited. Okay, my husband helped me film this too, so that was good. We went out and got some footage today. Hopefully it comes out okay. One thing was the sound quality was a little tricky with the wind, but I'm not a YouTuber, so I don't know. Okay. Okay, so if you've already looked into the 2SWIFT, you probably know that you mount it while you're moving a little bit. So if you have any skateboard experience, it'll really help you. You're gonna put your foot in the front, get comfortable. Maybe you could even just practice like 1 foot for a minute. You're gonna give it a push. You can do a few pushes just to see what that feels like. And what you're gonna notice as soon as you start to lift your other foot is that it's very tilty, it's gonna wobble. So it's really important you keep your body calm. Sometimes we get rigid, and as soon as you're rigid, you're not gonna have as fast of a response time to correct your balance. So like I said, just stay real calm, keep your knees like real loose, just stay like a noodle. Okay, so you're gonna give yourself a push. You're gonna use your throttle a little bit. And you're on. Oh, I forgot to add that since the board is unstable at really slow speeds, practice just stepping right off of it. That way, as you lose your balance, you have your foot right there to catch you, and you know what it feels like to exit the board at a slow speed. You could even use someone's shoulder for a little bit of help. So I thought first I would talk to you about steering and carving. So think heels, toes. So right now, I'm going to bend my knee and make a toe side, straighten it, and make a heel side. All right, let's do that again. So by bending and unbending my knee, I'm already getting a carve. And that's just my front knee. So I'm already getting that much motion just by thinking about that area. Once you've practiced steering and you have some basic control, you might want to start looking for those fluid carving motions. Find a big open area free of obstacles. Ooh, slow motion. I liked the way the board was tilting, so I tried to highlight that. Oh, anyways, when you're carving, it's kind of a mental thing. So basically, if you're in an area with unexpected bumps or crowds or obstacles, you might not be able to just relax and get into the flow. So for that carving feeling, find an open, smooth area. Another thing to keep in mind when choosing terrain is remembering that the 2SWIFT is affected by gravity, so you want to know your braking power. Okay, I keep putting slow motion on because I thought the board had some pretty good tilt there, and it was a really good sensation. I was trying to capture it, but I think a lot of these feelings when you're out riding anything, bikes, boards, all these things, skiing, I feel like it's more about how it feels and less about how it looks. Like, yeah, it looks cool, but really you're going to experience your own sensations, your own mindfulness with your craft. It's actually a really cool thing. Yeah, use safety too. Don't forget your helmet. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you for 1 minute and 40 seconds with more thoughts on how to make your board carve. Okay, I did that like 10 times. So while I was riding, I was trying to think about how the carving mechanics were really working, because it's always mentioned that you press on your toe or you press on your heel, but I wasn't noticing like a lot of like pressing. Instead, I was noticing more rotation in the front part of my body. Oh, there's a deer. Oh. All right, so like I'm left foot forward. So Earlier I mentioned knee steering, so I feel like the first thing I'm doing to carve towards my toe would be like bending my knee down that way. And then when it's time to go to the heel side, I lift my knee and straighten, and it automatically shifts the pressure. I think a mistake if you're a really new beginner is if you only think about toes and heels and what your feet are doing, it might lock you up and make you rigid. Imagine you're just bending your knees and they're not moving. Your knees are just like this. You can't really do much. So I feel like the motions in your upper body are what translate down to your feet. So think about your knees first, bending for toe, straightening back for heel, and then also your hip, it's gonna rotate inward a bit and out, and the shoulder's gonna follow. And so that's why you always wanna stay really loose and flowy, even if you're scared. If you're a new board rider, you might just feel like you're freaked out just because suddenly you're moving, and so then you get rigid. So remember, stay loose, and you're gonna be able to break down the motions and get a sense for what your body's doing to make it happen. Hi there. Just joking. I'm not gonna use that. I'll go back and then you can restart it. Okay, while I was riding, I was trying to think of the mechanics of carving. I mentioned earlier that it's not always just pressing on your toes and just pressing on your heels and keeping yourself bent. That's gonna make you rigid and you're not gonna have a lot of flexibility. It's more about making the upper body do motions that then translate down to the feet. So I was still thinking about though the feet, like if I only concentrate on my feet, is there a way to make a carve? So this time I was thinking about this part of my foot, like the back of my side of my foot, like almost by my heel. And I was thinking about showing this part of my foot to someone who's over there, right? And then I was thinking about, to go the other way, I want to show to someone over there. So I feel like by getting that rotation and that angle, you're going to have more carves. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that. And I want you to notice that my knees are real soft and they're not in one fixed bent motion. They're not rigid. Okay, bye!